YouTube, and this is Mr. C of Mr. C's Homeschool Music Academy. Welcome everybody. It's time for middle school and high school music class with me, Mr. C, okay? Middle school and high school. So, guys, as a reminder before we start, we are going to continue with sight reading in the key of D. I'm sorry, give me a second. I got to check my sound. I believe uh-oh. Yes. Okay, I just wanted to mute the YouTube part of my video here. Okay, great. So once again, we're going to need manuscript paper. Okay, so make sure that you have manuscript paper plus a pencil with a reading in the key of D. We're going to do this. What's behind me on the chalkboard here. So be ready to do that. However, we have stretches before we start, and then we have our hymnal for today. Our hymnal choice for today is Swing Low, Sweet Chariot. To a Google search engine and type in the word Swing Low, Sweet Chariot, and the word lyrics. You should be able to get those lyrics right away. Spiritual, guys, so just to let you know, it's a spiritual, which means there's no particular author when it comes to Swing Low, Sweet Chariot. It's just been a traditional song that's been passed down from generation to generation. So once again, it's Swing Low, Sweet Chariot. Google search it, type in the word lyrics, and you'll get those lyrics right away. For now, let's start with the Music Academy jingle. If you know it, sing along. Here we go. Time for school, time for music, time to learn together, we can do it. Learning is fun with Mr. C. And learning is fun. Once again, welcome everybody. Middle school and high school, that's 6th grade all the way through 12th grade. You guys will be having your lesson today. And again, it's all about sight reading in the key of D. So you're going to need, again, your manuscript paper, okay? Which, by the way, those who are members of the Academy can definitely download the PDF on our Patreon platform and be able to print that out. Print a a manuscript paper, okay, so that you guys can have that, okay. Those who are watching through YouTube, however, a long time ago I did suggest, getting a notebook that already has the lines for your staff so that you can write, okay. However, if you're a member of the Academy, you'll be able to have, again, readily available that PDF that you could just simply print out. You'll be able to do that, and not only that, you'll be able to join with me on the lives. Okay, on these live classes, you'll be able to join with me through Zoom. Okay, that's a new thing that we're doing. And right now, I have a student of the Academy right now, which is Melina Coelho. Melina Coelho, say hi to everybody, please. Hi. Let me raise that volume actually a little bit louder so that so that everybody can hear you. Okay, say that one more time. Hi. Okay, hello. So she says hi. Okay, and because of that, I'm going to do the shout out, the musical shout out. So that's another little perk that you get as a student of the Academy. You get a nice musical shout out during our lives. You get to interact with me during the class and ask me questions, raise your hand, all of that good stuff, and get called on. And that is such another wonderful thing. So you get a little more hands-on when you are a student of Mr. C's Homeschool Music Academy. And wait, we got somebody else joining us by the name of Peace Girl. Hey, Peace Girl, can you turn on your camera so that I can see you? Is that? Wait a minute. Is that you, Teresa Lynn Coelho? Oh, that is my other daughter, Teresa Lynn Coelho, who is also a student of the Academy. Say hi. Okay, and she goes by the name of Peace Girl. Her camera's not working, but she goes by the name of Peace Girl, and she's with us also. So, Peace Girl, say hi to everybody, please. Hello, everybody. Okay, so there you go. So we have Peace Girl, aka Teresa Lynn Coelho, and my other daughter, Melina Coelho. They are both here joining us through Zoom. So again, go into Mr. C's HomeschoolMusicAcademy.com. Find that website, Mr. C's HomeschoolMusicAcademy.com. Find the tab that says Music Class Membership and find out more on how you can become a member of Mr. C's Homeschool Music Academy. So you can also join live with me and have all these other perks and incentives to be able to learn music when you are, to become a student of the Academy. But for now, let's get right to it. Here we go, guys. It is time for the musical shout out. Let's say hi to Melina and Peace Girl. Okay, here we go. Let's say hi to Melina Coelho. Let's get together with Peace Girl Coelho. Let's do some music with Melina and Peace Girl. Let's go have some fun. And that was once again with Melina and Peace Girl. Everybody give it up for them. A nice round of applause. Woo-hoo-hoo. Okay, great job, guys, and thank you for joining us. And thank you everybody else who's watching through YouTube, through the channel. Thank you for joining me and your support, your ongoing support of Mr. C's Homeschool Music Academy. I thank you so much for that. Let's do some stretches, okay? And we're going to make sure we are sitting up nice and straight. Our feet are flat on the floor. Our hands are on our laps right now. Make sure if you have a backing to your chair, you're kind of sitting a little bit further to the front edge of your chair so that, again, you have more stability with your feet flat on the floor, okay? More balance, and your posture can be exercised very well. Your shoulders are relaxed. The back of the neck, make sure you straighten it out, okay? So if you want to make sure you are doing a good posture with your neck, take the two hands, your two palms like this, sides of your temple, and raise it up, okay? And chin kind of stays down, and you will be exercising good posture throughout. All right, everybody, reach into the sky as high as you can. Reach, 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 stretch it out. Feel that stretch in the lower back and breathe. All right, nice, you need fitness too. Fitness is very good for when you're also doing music, okay? It all goes hand in hand together. Everybody put your arms down like this and start rolling the shoulders back. Still keep that posture and breathe as you roll your shoulders back. Feel that nice massage in the shoulder blades. Great job, everybody. Now, everybody roll the shoulders forward. Roll the shoulders forward. Breathe. Great. Now everybody just rotate our necks in a circle very slowly, please. Rotate very slow. Let me make an adjustment real quick. Actually, my camera. Keep rolling those necks in a circle. Roll, roll, roll. Good. Everybody rotate in the other direction, please. Nice and slow. As a reminder, folks. Nice and slow. Don't go fast. Breathe. All right. Great job. Now everybody look all the way up. And look all the way down. And all the way to your left. All the way to your right. Tilt your head to the left. Keep the shoulders down and relax while you're tilting. Tilt your head to the right. Shoulders down. Breathe. And now shrug and hold your shoulders. Shrug and hold. And let them drop. Once again, shrug and hold. Shrug and hold. And let them drop. Great job, everybody. Now, everybody put your hands in front of you like this. Start opening and closing your hands. And I'm just going to say hi and good morning to, I know it's another person from it's got a name, okay, from a different country. Welcome, welcome, welcome. No, I can't pronounce the name, but good morning to you and welcome to my class. Okay, I'm so glad that you could make it. Those people who are watching through YouTube, okay, have the ability to write and type something on the chat. So if you have something to say on the chat during our class, okay, you may do so, and I could definitely answer any question that you might have during our class, okay, through the chat box on YouTube, okay? Of course, nothing beats a more hands-on experience through Zoom, okay? So that is the difference there. And now everybody squeeze and hold. Squeeze and hold those fists. Keep squeezing and holding. Keep squeezing. Hold it. Squeeze it. Squeeze it. And squeeze it. Okay. And shake it out. Shake it out, everybody. Shake it out. All right. Great job. Everybody, let's get ready to do our hymnal. Okay, so as I mentioned before, swing low, sweet chariot. I'm sorry, give me a second. I just want to make one more, just move something around a little bit to make sure that you guys can see everything here, especially the board. okay, for later on. All right, so now we're going to sing Swing Low, Sweet Chariot. And as I mentioned before about Swing Low, Sweet Chariot, it is a spiritual with no particular author, okay? So it's like folk music. It's a song that's been passed down traditionally from generation to generation. It started with a person, they sang it for their family, and then from there, they spread it to their neighbors, their friends, okay, and then from there their neighbors and their friends spread it to their friends and their friends, and so on and so on and so forth, okay. And that's how folk music is, okay. It's just no particular authorship goes to folk music or anything like that, just like this song, Swing Low, Sweet Chariot, okay. However, the difference is there's other folk music that is either secular, okay, which means non-religious, or sacred, which is definitely religious, okay. And in this case, we're going for the religious. Well, religious probably not the best term for it, just basically a hymnal. This is a song to praise God. So when we look at the lyrics, you take a look at the lyrics, okay, it starts off with the chorus. It says, swing low, sweet chariot, coming for to carry me home. Swing low, sweet chariot, coming forth to carry me home. It repeats that understanding twice, okay? And basically the understanding is the chariot, okay? It's not a literal chariot, okay? It's not an actual chariot. It's God in heaven who is going to, who basically through a saved person's prayer is asking for God to take him with him, okay? To take him with him to the New Jerusalem, that type of thing. And then in the first verse, I'm not going to go over every verse, okay? But it goes in the first verse, I looked over Jordan, and what did I see? Coming forth to carry me home. A band of angels coming after me. Coming forth to carry me home. And then it goes right back to the chorus. Swing low, sweet chariot. So a lot of the verses are like that, where it's just, again, the chosen one's prayer, you know, that goes through things and sees and wants to be with God, you know, and not in a negative way. Is, you know, being with God is a positive way. We want salvation. So think about that when we're singing this song. You know, a lot of mood setting, a lot of the understanding from mood setting, everybody, so that we can get to learn, is that we also understand the content. We must understand the content of every song. This is something that I've talked about in past classes. So we want to understand the content of what we're singing about, okay? Even when it comes to anything musical, so certain notes, you know, when everything is instrumental, when a song is instrumental and just the music, no words to it, even then there's a title to it, so that we try to understand the content. We get into the mood and that of the song, and that is how performance is so much better. So whenever we understand what the song is about. So let's think on those things and thank God for giving us the ability to ask for anything, really, and to be able to learn what we're going to learn, anything that we're going to learn, and just be well during the day. You know, that's why I do this, okay? And do it through music. And what a blessing it is that God can provide us this way, okay? Let's do this, everybody. Swing low, sweet chariot. Keep your posture. I'm going to the piano for this and sing with those lyrics in hand best you can. And let's do this. Swing low, sweet chariot, spiritual. Swing low, sweet chariot, coming forth to carry me home. Swing low, sweet chariot, coming forth to carry me home. I looked over Jordan, and what did I see? Coming forth to carry me home. A band of angels coming after me, coming forth to carry me home. Swing low, sweet chariot, coming forth to carry me home. Swing low, sweet chariot, coming forth to carry me home. If you get there before I do, coming forth to carry me home. Just tell my friends that I'm a coming too, coming forth to carry me home. Swing low, sweet chariot, coming forth to carry me home. Swing low, sweet chariot, coming forth to carry me home. I'm sometimes up and sometimes I'm down, coming forth to carry me home. But still my soul feels heavenly bound, coming forth to carry me home. Swing low, sweet chariot, coming forth to carry me home. Swing low, sweet chariot, coming forth to carry me home. Swing low, sweet chariot, coming forth to carry me home. Oh, swing low, sweet chariot, coming forth to carry me home. And that, once again, Swing Low, Sweet Chariot. Everybody give yourselves a nice round of applause for singing that, okay? If you did great at that, great, okay? If you had a little bit of trouble singing along, okay, just kind of keeping up because maybe it was your first time doing it, hey, that's okay. All you have to do is go right back to this video, okay? Have your lyrics handy, replay it, and practice, practice, practice. Practice along with the way we're singing it. Once again, great job, okay? Now, manuscript paper, pencils, good erasers. Make sure you have all that. Make sure your pencils are sharpened, okay, if you need it. We are going to go over how to sight read in the key of D. Last time we did in the key of B flat, okay? B flat, the key of B flat were two flats, okay? And remember that a flat sign is an accidental symbol that whenever you put it in front of a note, it actually lessens, it lowers that note, that natural note by half a step. So what do we have here? I'm gonna fix the cameras and adjust so that you guys can see everything. Again, have your pencils and manuscript paper handy, okay? Here we go. So give me a moment. Okay. Fixing the YouTube camera, and now after that, I'm gonna fix the Zoom camera so that my Zoomies, my Zoom people can see. You guys still with me, by the way?
Yeah.
Yes? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Okay. All right, so as we have our pencils handy, I'm just looking, making sure you guys can see everything. Oh, let me bring certain cameras closer actually as well, so you can get a good view. Okay. All right, my friends. So, take a good look, everybody. Okay. So I think my Zoomies, you can't see me all that well. Actually, let me make one more adjustment. There we go. I think that'll be better. Good. Now you can see me and the board. So take a good look, everybody. So I told you guys already that we are in the key of D, but how do we really know that? That's the question. How do we know that? What you must look at, okay, we have our treble clef. We have our meter to start with over here. Between the treble clef and the meter, okay, we have our key signature, okay? So everybody say that, key signature, okay? Our key signature tells us exactly what scale we're going to be playing in, okay? And just like I went over all the sharps and all the flats on different occasions, right? We have two sharps, okay? This is what the sharps look like. They look like a number sign, a pound sign, a hashtag, however you want to look at it. And it does the opposite with a note, as opposed to a flat, which lowers it by a half step. The sharp raises a natural note by a half a step. So for example, if I'm playing a C sharp, okay, this is what a C natural will sound like. A C sharp is C but raised by a half step. That's the way it sounds, okay? So you're not looking at one of them, but it's all about the sound. So we have a C sharp, okay? So it raises raises that note by a half a step, just a smidget, okay? So that is what a sharp would do to any natural note. It just raises, again, that natural note by half a step, okay? Make sure you have that. You can even copy that down. I wrote that down right underneath our example here, okay? Our 4-measure example. Just write sharp, raise half a step, okay? So you know what that means. Of course, I had you write it another time, but hey, the more we write things, okay, just a little trick, guys, in memorization. The more we write things, the more we actually remember stuff. And that could be anything, not just music, okay? But here we go. Let's look at our key signature, which has 2 sharps on particular spots, okay, on these particular spots. When you're, by the way, you should be copying this down, okay? I want you to copy this 4-measure example down. I want you to have this for your records if you have your manuscript paper. If you don't have your manuscript paper, if you weren't able to get it, that's okay. Just, just watch, okay? Here's the great thing, when you do get your manuscript paper, you can always go back to this video again, okay? It's available to our students, okay? So you can go back to this video and copy everything down, okay? So we have our 2 sharps. The first sharp is at the top line, okay? The very top line. And then our second sharp angles off to the right. It angles off to the right some to the 3rd space. Okay, notice the particular spots that they are located in. Okay, I'm just going to make a little adjustment on the board. Okay, so again, first sharp, top line, and let's actually sight read these particular sharps. Okay, it's all about location, right? So we're not sight reading notes yet, but we're sight reading the sharps. This is how we know what's going on with the key signature. So we have the top line, okay, where the sharp, the top line is crossing that sharp, which means what? It has to have a letter name. If we think about the lines in treble clef, remember that formula? Every good boy does fine. You go from the bottom line and recite that same formula. Every good boy does fine, okay? And peace girl. Turn on your mic for us, please, and then tell me if that sharp is on the word fine, okay? What letter name does that make that sharp?
Does it make it F?
That's right. Well, is it a F natural, like a regular F, or is it something else?
Oh, F sharp.
Very good, Peace Girl. All right, give it up for Peace Girl on that. Okay, great job. So that means that in this key signature, F is not just regular F, it's F sharp, okay? So anytime we come across any letter name note, any note, whether it's the low F on the space or whether it's the high F on the line or any F whatsoever, okay? Even in bass clef, right? Say we had a bass clef also with this little example. Whatever F whatever F note comes about, it's always going to be an F sharp. Why? Because the key signature tells us. And here's the interesting thing about it. Just like I've mentioned before, we don't have to have a sharp sign next to the actual note. We don't have to do that. Why again? Because the key signature tells us right away that every note thereon is going to be an F sharp, not a regular F. It's the key signature that tells us beforehand, before we start to approach it and actually learn to read it and sing it or play it, whatever the case may be. So the key signature tells us right away every F is F sharp, not just F natural. Okay. Now, the next one we have it in the space. We angle off to the right a little bit, and there is the next sharp, the second sharp, the last one, which is on the 3rd space. 1, 2, 3, 3rd space. Okay? So, spaces formula again was face for treble clef. Treble clef spaces is the word face. We spell face. Okay? And I'm going to now ask Melina. Melina, please tell us what letter name does that sharp get if we have to spell face starting from the bottom all the way to the sharp? What letter name does that sharp get?
C sharp.
Excellent. Now you catch it. Now she didn't just say C, everybody. She said C sharp. Okay? So that's what makes all the difference. We don't want to call it just a regular C, or otherwise then we're not going by what it actually says. The key signature basically sets the rule. sets the rule that whatever song that key is in, whatever scale that key is in, we have to go by what it says, okay? So that means any note that is in this space, in this third space, or even middle C in the ledger line below, okay? Say we had a note right over here, right? We had a note. Guess what? There doesn't have to be a sharp next to it to tell us it's C sharp. Why? Because the key signature already tells us, okay? Now, still, you don't have to write that down, by the way, okay? But every C is going to be C sharp. But we still haven't necessarily answered today what makes this the key of D. If we have an F sharp and a C sharp, okay? Why is it in the key of D? Remember the rule when it comes to reading sharps, okay? When it comes to flats, it's different. You always take the last or only flat and you count down from that last or only flat. You count down 4 steps. However, when it comes to the sharps, it's different. You take the last or only sharp and guess what? From there, go up 1 step. You go up 1 step, okay, on the staff, and that is your key signature. That's the scale that we are in. So, by that alone, I'm going to ask Peace Girl to answer my question this time. Our last sharp, as I mentioned before, is C sharp, okay? Now, if we go up 1 step, we end up going to the line just above it. The line just above the C sharp. What is the letter name of that line? Remember, line's formula. Every good boy does fine. So, Peace Girl, what is the letter name of that 4th line when we go from C sharp to there? What is that called? D. Oh, wait, how do we know that? Because let's recite it, everybody. From the bottom line, we go from the bottom line and we recite the every good boy does fine formula. Everybody do that with me. Every good boy does. Every line we account for, every good boy does, that makes it a D. And even if we didn't use the formula, hey, think alphabetically. We go from C, we go up to the line. We're thinking about what comes after C. Alphabetical order. From C, go up a step, we go what comes after C? A, B, C, D, okay? So D is that line. Therefore, we're in the key of D. Hey, Peace Girl, one more question. If that line is D, right? Why don't we call it D sharp? Why don't we call this the key of D sharp? Why is it the key of D only?
Because it's not a half a step up. It's more than half a step.
Well, yeah, but let me ask you this. Is there a sharp sign in the key signature on the D line or even in the D space below the treble clef? Is there any sharp sign there?
No.
You see that, guys? Okay? So, by that understanding, if there is no sharp sign, no sharp accidental sign, okay, on that D line or even in the D space or on any D of the staff, right? If we don't have that, guess what? It's not D sharp. We can't consider it D sharp, okay? In other words, in the key signature, whatever sharps are on that particular spot on the staff, that is the sharp sign that goes along with it, okay? So, for the essence of saving time, guys, again, we are in the key of D because we went up a half a step from the last sharp, so we're in the key of D, okay? You can write, an uppercase D somewhere above or below, somewhere kind of out of the way so that you know that you're in the key of D, everybody. Now, we have to name the letter names, okay? So let's go through this quickly. Watch this. We know we're in the key of D, where F is sharp and C is sharp. We have the first note. We have a half note all by itself in the first measure. Why? Okay, because we're in the 2/4 meter, which means how many beats per measure, Melina? How many beats per measure are we going by?
2 beats.
Two beats per measure, right? And the bottom number 4 tells us that the quarter notes will get 1 beat, okay? So that meter also tells us, sets the rules, how many beats we're counting in every measure. So the first note is a half note on the 1, 2, 3, 4th line. We already said it, the 4th line. We do the lines in the treble clef. Every good boy does. And now we're going to hold D. We're going to write that, guys. Write uppercase D. This is how we label our notes using uppercase D, and we're going to hold D for 2 counts. Okay? In the second measure, we have it in the third space. 1, 2, third space. And we kind of went over that. Take a look. We said, let's just, to go even quicker, we said that F is sharp and C is sharp. C sharp is on the third space, and so is this note head. Remember, looking at note heads always when we're looking for the letter names. So because it's on the C sharp space, we already know that is C sharp. So take your pencil and write it underneath C and a little sharp sign right there so that we know it's C sharp. Okay? There we go. We go to the next note. Next quarter note in the same measure. On the 4th line again, right? We already named the half note D, and it's on the same line as the quarter note is on the same line as the half note, so therefore it's also going to be D, okay? Sometimes in a melody, notes are repeated. Just because it's a different note, by the way, be careful of this. Just because this is a quarter note and this is a half note doesn't mean that this is going to be a different letter name. As long as it's on that same line, D line, it'll always be D, okay? Next, we have 2 pairs of eighth notes. 1, 2, 3, 4 eighth notes, okay? We start over here at the bottom in the space below, okay? We know that the line just above it is an E, okay? So if we go down a step to where the note head is in the space, from E down a step, we think alphabetical order. What comes before E? Because we're going down, what comes before E? D. Okay, so there's our low D. This is our high D because we're higher up on the staff. This is our low D because we're lower on the staff. Next note, next eighth note, okay, we have it on the line and we already discussed E for every. It's the note head has the bottom line crossing, treble clef formula, E for every. We see that and we're going to label that as our uppercase E, okay? After that, we're on the third eighth note here. It's in the space. What was the spaces formula again in treble clef? Face. We spell face. We go F. Oh, do we need to go any further? No, because our space, our note head is on the space for F. Hey, so we're going to label this F. Right, Melina? We're going to label this just F?
No.
No? What are we going to call it?
F sharp.
F sharp. Very good. F sharp. Why? Because our key signature tells us it's on the top line. This is an F line. For every good boy does fine. But still, this is also an F, just as this is an F. So we label it F sharp. Okay? Everybody got that? Give me a thumbs up if you do. All right? Great. So we have F sharp. Next one is on the second line from the bottom. Next note, second line from the bottom. So lines formula, every good boy does fine. E, G, B, D, F. So we go bottom line, get to the second line where the note head is. Every good makes it a G. Please write an uppercase G for that note. Okay, and now we're in the home stretch. Last measure, quarter note. We're on where's the note head located? It's located on the third line, right? There it is. Third line in treble clef. Every good boy does fine, right? Take it from the bottom line and recite it with me. Every good boy. That makes it a B. Okay? Then we have 2 eighth notes to end it. This one's in the second space. That first note head of the eighth note is in the second space. Space note, face. So we go. Start from the bottom space, go up to the note. F, A, right away, uppercase A. Okay? And then the last note, top line. What is it? Girls, Melina and Peace Girl, say it at the same time. What is that last note that's on the 4th line in your 8th note there? What is that letter name? Good. Okay, so you write uppercase D for the last note. Oh, how do we know that again? Well, we could use the formula. Bottom line, we go every good boy does. Okay, Or you can remember that you already did it in two other spots on the fourth line. The half note in the first measure and the quarter note in the second measure is also D, okay? And that is our D, our root note of the key signature in the scale of D major, okay? Everybody got that? Give me a double thumbs up. Okay? So, remember, when we're sight reading, we definitely got to remember our formulas, okay, for lines and spaces, and we definitely got to refer to the key signature. We got to make sure we're looking at where the sharps are located, knowing that in the key of D, F is sharp, C is sharp, so that you make sure you have your C sharp intact and your F sharps, okay? Whenever they come up, you're using your key signature to let you know what you're going to label them. And then, of course, with those only two sharps in the scale, all the other notes like E and D and G and B and A, all those other notes are just regular natural notes. They're the only ones that are natural notes. Only ones except for F sharp and C sharp. Okay? Guys, give yourselves a nice little round of applause. Woo-hoo-hoo. Okay, for getting into that. And guys, make sure that you take another sight reading example, okay? Whenever possible, look at the key signature and try to practice reading those notes in that way, okay? Great job, everybody. And what else can I say? Join me later for Time for Him, which is later on at 10:45 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, where we're going to dedicate a song, okay, and just sing another different hymn, okay, to God Almighty, okay? We're going to do that. And guys, that is it. So as always, I wish you happy practicing. Everyone, take care of yourselves and enjoy the rest of the day. Bye-bye, guys. Bye-bye. Say goodbye, everybody. Say goodbye, Melina and Peace Girl.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye, guys. Great job, everybody. Once again, take care.